Hello there, welcome to Genessis-Models. My name is Bob Waldron, and in this video we're going to have a news update because basically we're having a bit of a revamp and sort of changing the format of how we do things here at Genessis-Models. What I mean by changing the format is how we release videos and the shows and all this kind of stuff, of changing all that, or shall we say going back to what we once had, because at the moment what we've got, I'm basically, I pick up a build, I build it, and I release the videos every week on a weekly basis, thrown in with inbox reviews, product reviews, and then you've got every fortnight or every 2 weeks we have a show. That's what we've got now. More recently, it was, we'd have maybe 2 or 3 builds going on at the same time, and we'd go, right, this week it's Victory Week, then next week it is, I don't know, Sherman Week, and the week after that maybe it was F-15 Week, and we've even had formats where we have the show on a weekly basis. We've had formats where we have the show on a monthly basis. But really, going off, my experience for doing this for years, as well as, the feedback from you guys, looking at subscriptions, new members, and all that kind of information, it does appear that the best format we've had here at Genessis-Models was a couple of years ago, when we would have this format of we'd have 3 different builds going on at the same time, and they would always be of a different subject. So we wouldn't have like 2 World War II builds going on at the same time. It would be something like we'd have a main build, right, and that build, you'd have a video being released on that one every single week, and then we'd have 2 side builds where each side build, you'd have one released one week, and then the next side build would be released the next week, so it'd be like every fortnight on the side builds. And as I say, each one would be of a different subject, so we'd always have something like a World War II, and some sort of a jet, because that's the main subjects that you guys come here for, and then the third subject would be something like armor, miniatures, ships, helicopters, something a little bit different. And at the same time, you'd have all your inbox reviews, product reviews going on as well throughout the month. But then we'd have a show on a monthly basis, and this seemed to be the best format. And I think it's going to work in the sense that you've got 3 different subjects going on at the same time, so you've got all this different variety, so everyone's sort of kept happy. There was in a lot of ways, actually, you would get more videos as well being released on a weekly basis, and as for the shows would be bigger and have more content in them, because we have done weekly shows, and the weekly shows, although it's kind of cool to have a show every week, the problem is with a weekly show is, taking a week's worth of work and sort of putting it into a show, you can't really get that much content to go in there, I mean, it's not as if I'm buying new products on a weekly basis, and a fortnightly, it's sort of almost there, but on a monthly basis, I mean, I could really sort of put in a lot of content, showing, I used to sort of show, what we've done in the builds that we've been doing. You'd have all the inbox reviews, everything I've brought and done, and all the news going on the forum over the space of a month. So they'd normally be like maybe 45 minutes long, the shows would be, so that would be better in that sense. So we're going to go back to that old format, maybe with a bit of a jazz up here and there. Hopefully you're liking that, because from what feedback I've had over the years, that does seem to be the best format. So hopefully you're going to like those changes. So what does that mean right now? Well, this week there was supposed to be a show. Instead, I'm going to release the next step by step this week. So that would be what you voted for. Actually, you voted. The winner was the Hellcat on the forum that you guys voted for, which was the Royal class, but I did want to sort of change it up a little bit and got exactly the same kit, the Hellcat by Eddard 148 scale, only in this box. Basically it's the Royal Navy version, so different markings, different colour scheme. That's basically all that's different. So that's going to be starting this week. And then it will be another episode of that next week with the final episode of our AK Interactive Basic weathering series. Then the week after that, it will be the 3rd of June, I do believe. So that will be our first monthly show. And we're going to start a new step by step, which will be of the Gloucester Meteor F8 by Airfix 148 scale. Really like the look of this kit, and with this one I want to go a little bit more advanced. The Hellcat, I'm thinking that one's going to be a bit basic, but the Meteor here, I want to go a bit advanced. I want to get some scratch building done, and I've brought in a load of cool products to go with this scratch building. One of them is some easy composite silicon rubber. This is a really cool product for being able to make your own molds. So basically I want to do some scratch building, make the molds, and then pour some resin, and we can do all sorts of cool stuff, and maybe even you guys might want to go off and buy some of this resin stuff off me. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but definitely there's going to be a product review of this silicon rubber in the future, so hopefully you'll be looking forward to that, as well as I brought a load of cool sort of scratch building tools like rivet makers and stuff. So that one will be cool. As for the second side build, right, I've got a few kits that I'm sort of looking at. Nothing's definite, but to sort of let you know where I'm sort of coming from. What I've got here, I've got a really cool kit, which is the British Infantry Before the Attack World War One. This is 135th scale by Masterbox Limited. Now this kit is something a little bit different to what we do here at Genessis-Models. We've got infantry and we've got diorama. Actually, we've never done a diorama piece, so this would be a first. Again, let me know on feedback. I'm also looking at an AH-17 Viper 145th scale by Kitty Hawk Models. Let me know what you think about that. And we've got a 135th scale AFV Club M24 Chaffee. So that's our second sort of side build, which is a little bit more different from doing World War II or jets. Now let me know, feedback wise, what you think of the changes. I suppose there is time to change things or make things a little bit differently, but as I say, over all the years that Genessis-Models been running, this has been the best format with the best feedback, best subscriptions and membership, new members coming in, and really you get more videos at the same time. So we'll just see how it goes. So really, until next time, we've got episode 1 of the Hellcat going up this week, so check that out. We've also got the AK weathering series. We've got Dust, basically working on Dust. We're going to get the Land Rover out and we dust that up and sort of almost finalised that. Next week will be episode 2 of the Hellcat and the final episode of our AK basic weathering series, where we finalise with some final effects like oil, grease, grime, petrol, wet effects, that sort of stuff. And then the Friday, the 3rd of June, will be June's Genessis-Models show. So we'll get more information in that 3rd of June Genessis-Models show. So until next time, hopefully you've enjoyed. My name's Bob Waldron. This is Genessis-Models.